Hello, hello, it's Carrie, So Much Glitter. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad that you guys are here. If you have not done so yet, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bells so you'll be notified when I come out with new content. If you find something today that sparks joy, sparks interest, inspiration, and you would like to share this with a crafty friend, please go ahead and do so now. And I am glad to have you guys here. So please grab a snack, grab a drink, some of your favorite crafting supplies, and let's gather around the craft table. Today is a very special video. I am doing it pre-recorded because I am celebrating Mother's Day with my family and I'm doing a special treat for myself this morning. So instead of going live with all of you, I set this as a premiere so I could kind of drop in and drop out possibly and chat with you all from a different perspective. And if I'm not able to, it's still pre-recorded content for your Sunday viewing pleasure. So I hope you all have had a fabulous week and you are participating in some self-care, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and grandmothers out there. And if you haven't physically become a mother, but you have mothered plenty and many, you are a mother among us. And I want to say thank you because the world's not going to keep going without mothers. And that's just it is what it is. And I said what I said, and I mean what I said. So I'm going to start my Sunday format, this format, like any other Sunday format. And I'm going to start out in my gratitude jar. So I'm going to try to write one thing that I am grateful for this past week. One thing, maybe if it wasn't a great week, then maybe I can write something and put like a positive spin on it. So we're going to go ahead and start with May. And can you believe it already that it's May 10th already? Like, what the heck? So my handwriting is not going to be as neat. I'm filming this Saturday afternoon. I've done homework. I've had my grandson all day. I am extremely exhausted. My glasses are either dirty or I need to pick up my stronger readers behind me, which I think that's what I'm going to end up having to do. I probably need to just give in to the whole bifocal thing, but they really make me sick. So I don't like them. So I cleaned them off, and I clean them off with my koala cloths. I absolutely love these things. These things are the best. Okay, so I've had an extremely difficult week, a very emotionally taxing week. Professionally, the week has not been great as well, and it just kept getting worse and worse. So these are one of the weeks where maybe I don't have anything fabulous to say, but I do have something great to look upon. So today, the day that I'm filming this, I did spend all day with my grandson, and that was just the highlight of my day. And he is just the joy of my life. So, we really hung out, went to lunch, went to the mall, saw a friend because my friend owns a salon over there at the mall. And then he ran some of my errands with me. And then the most unexpected thing happened to me. So this week ended on a high note. And I have to tell you that just when I think all of humanity sucks and everyone and everything is basically going down the gutter, wow. Just wow. And I don't know what to say. So I was in Target. My grandson was starting to get a little bit fussy because Target's having their BOGO book sale for Mother's Day. So I believe it ends, I don't know if it ends on Mother's Day or if it ends the day before Mother's Day. So I may be saying this a bit late if you didn't know. But anyway, so they're having their BOGO book sale, which I absolutely love. I don't need any books, but I did need to go. And then I did need things there. So I did have a list going on. And he was just the most cooperative with me. He drank most of my iced tea from Starbucks, which fine. I kept him happy. And it's too much fun. And the Target employee gave him stickers. And so we played with those. And he was just a joy. It's just so much different with grandkids than it is with your kids. And then he was starting to get fussy at the checkout. So I was playing with him in the cart and, just trying to make him happy just so we could kind of check out, then because he's getting tired. And he's not even 2 yet. So, but the gentleman behind me asked me if he could do something for me. And he's like, ma'am, can I do something for you? And I was like, oh no, thank you. I have it. I was thinking he was offering to take things out to my car, put the things in my cart. I really didn't know what was happening because it threw me off. And no, he walked directly up behind me and he walked in front of me at the checkout and he goes, do you mind? And I was like, well, it's not your turn. But I mean, I don't know. I had no idea what was going on. And he offered to pay for my whole basket. Yeah, you heard me correctly. I was dumbfounded. I was so shocked. And the girl looked at me and he goes, "Is that okay?" And he goes, "If you say no, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to overstep boundaries." And I just took I almost started crying. I just took the biggest breath and I kind of held my breath for a second. I said, "If you only knew how much this meant to me," because I had the worst week ever of the whole year. I said, "I'm not going to say no. I am going to say this makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable and it feels a little bit odd, but if you are insisting, I will let you." It's kind of just that's where I was with that. And he had on the conveyor belt, he had two big baskets filled with Mother's Day things. Like he hand curated Mother's Day gifts for somebody. And he said, "I noticed you're a mother and that little boy," I'm going to start crying talking about it. But he said that little boy looks so happy to be with you and you're the highlight of his day. And anyway, so at the risk of being sappy, which I just blew that out of the water, I did let him do it. And so he said, "Happy Mother's Day." And we walked off and we're on our merry little way. And I've had the worst week of the whole entire year. Very emotional, a very, very hard week for me. So that really I was shocked. I was shocked and I was like, you know what? It's not that bad. And before, you worry or message me or whatever, me and my kids and my grandkids are healthy. It was just a very emotionally rough week. My son's going through some very tough life altering things that he doesn't really know how to deal with. And so I'm trying to guide him through that. And it's hard. It's hard. And so it's the bigger they get, the bigger problems that they get. So I just truly, truly appreciate my little 21-month-old and his problems because it's just the best. So my faith in that moment was just completely restored in humanity, and not just in humanity, in male species too. I hate to say that and make me sound very jaded, but yeah, it's just been a rough week or a rough year between the males and the females, I think, just in society in general. And you can see that on the news. So I was able to accept good that came into my life. I have a very hard time doing that. And if you know me personally, you know that I probably don't accept a lot of favors from people. I don't accept a lot of help. It makes me feel very uncomfortable and it makes me feel like there's an ulterior motive. So I am grateful for accepting the good. Oh, you know what? I think I spelled that wrong. We're just going to deal with the misspellings because that's what we're doing today. So, for accepting the good, and embracing the moment. Love me. I'm not going to know what I'm talking about on New Year's Eve when I do this. So 5-9 stranger. I don't know how else to put it. Paid for Target purchase. And me and my grandson were in our own little world at that moment, and he must have noticed that. And yeah, I'm just gonna get sappy because it's emotional. But if you give off love and light, and this is gonna sound, and I'm sorry for my camera, but if you give off love and light and gracious and acceptance, that is seen and felt with other people. And I didn't intentionally do that. Obviously I don't go out into public to be like, God damn, I had the worst week ever. And shame on everybody. But he was the highlight of my day, my grandson. And I was really just embracing that at the moment. So happy Mother's Day. And it was because that's what he said. He's like, happy Mother's Day. You are everything to him. So anyway, yeah, that's just a weird way to start off the video. I'm not even going to edit this out. I know I could. And some of you, my vulnerability and my being emotional might make you a little bit uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable. So I don't blame you if it does. I'm not judging you if it does. But I'm going to leave it, and I'm just going to be raw and come as I am. And that's what I love about the creative community, is that we accept each other no matter what. And we accept our creative differences and our creative outlets and all of that. So that's where I'm going to leave that, because that was just a big, like, wow, like it is going to be okay. And I know it's going to be okay, but it's just when you're in the moment. And my goal is to keep my trajectory in this life. And now I've gone on 11 minutes about nothing, basically, but it's been everything. And maintain the stability and the happiness and the love and light, for lack of a better word, because that sounds really, really corny, because live, laugh, love, you know. But yeah, just kind of keep that in your core circle, and other people will see it. Because all I was doing was playing with my grandson while I was waiting for her to look up the the price matching, because Target does price matching. And so, I mean, that's all I was doing. But anyway, so worry is where we go with the book of positive quotations, because not everything has to be all positive, and you know, but not everything negative has to stay negative either. So I've had a lot of worry, and I don't think that's going to end anytime soon, but that's, you know, it is what it is. And if you're a mom, you know, we never stop worrying. If you worry about what might be and wonder what might have been, you will ignore what is, from Anon. And that is down here. I know I never show these close enough so you can see them, because I'm just kind of like reading them. But I didn't ignore what was in that moment. I knew what could be. I know what is be. I know what was be, but I did not ignore what was in that moment. And that really showed. And somebody else saw that. So I was, you know, wow. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of show and tell. So excuse me for kind of like going off the rails and getting really sappy, because that's just not me normally. I did get 2 books. One has the sprayed edges and one does not. This has been on my my TBR list for quite a while. It's a shorter book. And in a hauntingly unique and compulsively readable psychological thriller, 3 women murdered by the same man unite in the afterlife to find comfort, solidarity, and justice that transcends death. This sounds really dark, and so I've never bought it, because I was just like, you know, that sounds a little bit, I don't know, too much like, you know, a documentary or true crime or something. But so it was the last one there, and it was on sale online for $10, rather than the $15 asking price in the store. And it BOGO. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to get it. It sounds really, really good. So if that's something you're into, now we're also going to go to like a little bit of a sassy, spicy kind of rom-com. And I don't think that this one is too spicy, but this is And Now Back to You. And I have another one of these on my TBR list, but I think I'm going to get the audiobooks. I just won't have time to read it. And it's First Time Caller right here must be the first book. So, this is about 2 competing meteorologists are forced to find common ground, and this opposites attract when Harry Met Sally inspired romance. Love When Harry Met Sally. I absolutely love it. And then I just kind of started reading this, and I read the inside, and it just sounded good. Like just something fun and refreshing, and not your typical like boy meets girl, boy hates girl, boy falls in love with girl. Everyone's like in love now. And it sounded good. So I like it. It sounded like it had a bit more substance. I actually have another one out in my living room, which I'm not going to go get it now. Actually, I am going to go get it probably. Hold on. Because I just completely basically wasted 15 minutes of not crafting, but it's okay. Okay, so Rules for the Summer by Megan Quinn just came out, and I pre-ordered this when Barnes & Noble had their really big pre-order sale. Everything was like 30% off or something. So this just came in the mail, because this was released this week. Very, very excited about this. This is a spicy rom-com. This is a standalone. If you like Megan Quinn, you will love this. She's so funny. I've already read the and there's like a little emotional to my mom and I love you, because I went to one of her author signings recently and her mom had been fighting cancer, and I think she still is. And she's local to my area actually, which is kind of funny. But so yeah, but I read the prologue already, and this one came with 15 illustrations. Actually, I ordered vellum illustrations to go with this because I pre-ordered. The vellum illustrations came free to me. I just had to express interest, so those should be coming soon. But it just look, I read the like I said, I already read the prologue, and I'm very, very excited to get into it. I'm having a really hard time finishing the Mad Wife, so I think I'm just going to jump right into this and kind of finish the Mad Wife at my leisure, if you will. And we're going to continue on. I don't think I showed these last week, but I did go to Hobby Lobby over the week, and all of their Master's Touch things were on clearance. And I don't know why. So I don't know if they're getting ready to redo, get rid of, I'm not really sure. But I purchased some fine liner markers. Very excited. These are water-based, and these are twin tipped, it said. So here, let's get a bright color out. One is just like, here, you probably can't see. One is just like your micron, and that's 0.4. And then this is 2. And and then this is like the marker side. Very excited to get these to add to my coloring. And then I've been looking to expand my colored pencils a little bit. So this was $6.99. It was regularly like $19.99. This was $12.99, regularly like $33 or $29.99. I don't remember which one. But this came with 2 trays. Oops, 2 trays full. It's 48 or something, I think. 2 trays full of markers. I don't know if these will work with Gamsol. I assume so, but I do like the whole Gamsol water, or not watercolor. I do like the Gamsol and the colored pencils. So I kind of want to add this, and I can add a lot of shading to my alcohol markers. And I did finish this not last week or the week before, but I think I forgot to show it, and I've even forgotten to put the background in. But this is a cuttlefish, and so I could come in and add more highlighting with the colored markers to give it a little bit more depth and texture. So I'm very excited about that. So this is going to bring me into a little bit of different craft today. And if some of you have been following me strictly for paper crafting, this might be a little bit different today, but I am really into coloring as well. I'm not like the greatest at it. I'm not like the biggest perfectionist of color. I'm not like really big into the coloring community. Some of you only know me from the coloring community. Some of you only know me from card making. Some of you only know me from junk journaling. So I do have, like, I like to expand my palette with creativity. I'm doing a buddy color in this right now with Coloring View. So hey girl, hey, if you're watching, very excited to have you along for that ride. And so I got this from Thrift Books. This was a pre-order, and I got it last week sometime, like last weekend actually. And so because of Mermaid, I'm doing a buddy coloring in Mermaid's Bay, and I really like this book because it's a hardback. I know I've shown this before. I love the paper. It's like fabulous quality paper. About the author. She welcomes you and she explains the world and like everything that's going on. You just here's fantasy world, and there's chapters. Everything is a chapter. So I think that that's very exciting. And this is like a cozy coloring. I know that there's a different word for it, but I call it like a comfy cozy coloring. I love big and bold and comfy and cozy. I love it. I absolutely love it. A lot of people don't like it. You don't have to like it, but this is kind of like that as well. I don't like getting too much into the fine details of things, and things being too small. Number one, my eyes can't handle it, and then I kind of lose patience. And I am learning different mediums with coloring. So the first buddy coloring that I did with Coloring View was this page. So if you want to join along, I did post it in my community tab, and you can go ahead and look at the page. Well, now I'm showing it to you, but you can kind of look at the post in the community tab, and you can see people like Jane decided to join along. And so if you do decide to join along in any of this mermaid buddy coloring, please let me know by tagging me in your work, and I can come and see it. And I love doing that because we, all three of us that did this, have a different take on it. And I just love that. Excuse me, I do have to take a sip of my soda next to me. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started on my second buddy coloring. I'm not a big, hey guys, let's color on camera kind of gal. That's just not me, because I'm not the best at coloring, but I do like it. And I think that I've already shown the vulnerability today in this video, so let's just like keep going with it, right? But I think that me not being like the most perfectionist of colorists or anything like that will maybe give you a little bit of understanding to be like, hey, I like to color. I'm not great at it. I'm learning new mediums as well. So it'll kind of give you a little bit of inspiration. I love the Faber-Castell gold Faber Aqua. I love these. I'm actually gonna, I think tomorrow for on Mother's Day, I'm going to the movie. I'm treating myself to the movie in the morning, and then I'm going to go to Michael's and get, because the 48 set of these is on, not really on sale. It's on sale online, but it's not on sale in stores. But I have a coupon to where it makes it more on sale if I buy it in the store. So I think that's what I'm going to do, because I absolutely love these. I just don't have water. I didn't come that prepared. So if this video is a little bit clunky for you, if this like isn't your jam, like I completely understand, because this is something a little bit different from all of my other videos. You're not going to be sitting here watching me color for 2 hours. So this is not going to be a 2-hour coloring video, because that would be boring. I wouldn't even want to watch that. But you know what? Take what you like, leave what you don't, and let me know below what you liked most about this video. And let me know below what you want to see maybe more of. And yeah, like if me getting emotional or whatever is like too much, you don't like me sharing things like that, like let me know. I mean, it is what it is. I probably am going to like open up a little bit here on my channel, because I have gotten to know some of you, and I think it's perfectly okay to be accepting of each other in the community. But if that's not what you're looking for, I completely understand that. But yeah, just hey, say hey, and give me a comment below. Okay, so I do have this, what I'm coloring in, like the colors and everything that I'm coloring with, I put in here because I'm going to forget. And I don't, like, I did swatch these because I kind of wanted to see how they swatched, and kind of like how they, I don't know, blended, I guess. I don't know what word I'm looking for. But anyway, so I really like these. I really love doing the watercolor pencils. I do have watercolor markers as well, and I did use watercolor markers on my mermaid over here. And it's kind of big and clunky. It's just clunky. It was hard for me to like blend those. I think the watercolor pencils, I don't have big issues with blending those as well, because I can lay the color down and then smooth it out. I like that. I have more control. But I did use the Ohuhu glitter markers as well for accents on this. I did start coloring this one as like a little bit of a different take on mermaid. I like it. So I'm just probably going to continue to finish that, and then I'm going to go ahead and get started on this today. So because I do have my green out already, because my dragon, I don't know, mermaid dragon, whatever he is, like the Loch Ness monster type guy, he's in my 2 greens. That's what I'm going to do here. So I have a dark and a light, and I am going to start out ironically with the dark. So if you're going to be coloring along with me, and this is kind of what you're going to be doing today, feel free to jump in. Make sure you get a pencil sharpener out. I really love this Prismacolor pencil sharpener. It's not broke one pencil that I have sharpened yet, and my other pencil sharpener was not like that. So I'm just going to kind of color in here, and I might need to try to make my camera a little bit closer. I have a feeling I have issues with zooming in and zooming out. So let me color this leaf, and then I think I'm going to hit the pause button and move you in a little bit more near me, because I think that'll make it a little bit more interesting rather than, hey, hi, how you doing? And then you're like, wait, what are you doing? What is going on? So let me do that to try to get things a little bit closer. Okay, so hopefully that's a little bit better for you. I like these because you can see on the tip what's the dark and what's the light. So I'm just going to, and one thing I did learn actually when I was learning colored pencil, and I started learning with Prismacolor, believe it or not, just because I really liked I liked how soft they were. I liked the blending. And I did do it with, during COVID. See, it breaks off a little bit, but I'm not really worried about that. With Gina K. And one thing that I did learn from her was keep your pencil sharp. Keep the pencil sharp, and you're going to get much better results than trying to color with a dull pencil. Now, I probably don't need to color this all in, because I'm going to show you why in a second. I don't know if you guys are familiar with watercolor pencils, but the color is going to spread. But my goal here is basically just to get the color to smooth out rather than spread. But I can, like with my, oh, what are they called? Over there. My watercolor markers. Let me see. Oh, here they are. Oh, they're my Arteza. Oh, my Arteza watercolor markers. The real brush pens. Now I'm like really zoomed in, but anyway, these I can just like lay down a little bit of color, and then it'll spread, and then that's kind of how I get like that whole highlighted effect. My auto, I don't know if I have it on autofocus. I think I do, but that kind of can make people dizzy sometimes too. So I try not to do it a whole lot. Okay. So what I do is I just have a little jar of water next to me, and I have a brush, and this is a 4. And I just kind of tap it off on like a little microfiber cloth, so it's not real wet and drippy. So it's not drippy. I do not like these. I have them and I've used them, but I don't like them. Those, I know like Dee Dee uses them, and maybe I just need to like learn how to use them a little bit more, because you can constantly keep the brushes like wet all the time. I get too much saturation with that. So I just like to kind of keep in control a little bit with how much water I'm getting with the paintbrush. Just like pick a paintbrush, and any paintbrush kind of thing. And that's just kind of what I do. Now, I'm going to do it on, oops, it's just rolling right off because I like to hold it like a little bit of a pencil. I'll get a little bit more water, put it down here, because I really like the fact that these, I have to see what's dark on the light, that these will kind of work versatile. So I can color it with the water down, and then that way it's like automatically like it's just like melting onto the paper basically. So I know that there's like probably technical terms for this. Like I said, I'm not like really big into the whole color world. I do like it. I think that this is a really good outlet, and another really good craft that I like. I like to learn new crafts. I like to do different things. I'm really just a sucker for anything with paper. Like, let's just be honest. I love all things paper. I feel like I can do this wet method with this paper. Now, with my printer paper and with some of the other like Amazon coloring book paper, I can't, because it's just going to pill up. It's just not going to blend, you know. So this is more of like a mixed media type paper that I really like. And if I just kind of want to blend them together a little bit more, I can kind of work it. I don't want to overwork the paper, because you can kind of see, I don't know if you can see, but you can kind of see a little bit where it will start to pill a little bit, or it'll start to tear. So you do you, basically. Don't freak your freak. Like, you decide what method works better for you. I generally do the first method. I do the color on the dry, and then I spread it out with the water. Sometimes if I'm feeling like a little bit fun or confident, I will do that method that I just showed you, like the whole wet method, but you have to be really careful and you have to let it thoroughly dry before you go back in with any other color. That's just because then you're just overworking the paper, and you're overworking it, and it'll tear apart, basically. So I don't get too fussy either about the blending and all of that. You know what I did forget to do, though, was go in with the darker on here. That's what I wanted to do. And so this is just kind of what this video is going to be about. It's just a different form of self-care, a different form of creating. And I don't worry that I didn't get everything completely colored in perfectly even or whatever. Like, I'm here to have fun. You know what I mean? Let's just create. Let's inspire each other. I originally was going to do a whole different video than what I'm doing right now. My printer decided to be a difficult jerk, and it started printing only in green. And I was just like getting flustered with it. And I was like, you know what? Like, I've had such a horrible week. I've been crying almost every day. I've been so stressed out. Me and my best friend make like little vlogs for each other, just between her and I. Like, we don't put it anywhere. It's just between her and I. And I've known her my whole life. And it's just like, sometimes it's her turn to do cry and moan about like her kids, or she's going through a divorce, so life is really weird for her right now. But it's starting to like even out to be like in a really good way. It's just like, Tag, I'm it. Like, she's like, Tag, I'm it, girl. I'm your emotional support this week, and next time it's going to be your turn to be me. And you know, so it's just been a real like nice comforting thing. But yeah, so that's just kind of how that's been going. And I decided not to fuss and hope and holler about my damn printer. I Googled a few things. I was like, okay, whatever. So I was going to do some mini signatures, because I'm doing a mini signature swap in Curiously Michelle's Facebook group. So I'm pretty excited about that. Actually, it is a separate Facebook group. My bad. Weird journaling or something. So it's just like weird stuff. And which, with Junetober coming up and we're halfway to Halloween, like, that's just, I love it. I love that. So I'm really excited to do some like little weird mini signature swaps. But that's what I was going to do today with some Be Happy stationery stuff. I was going to turn something really normal into something like kind of weird. But then my printer wasn't working, and I was just like, instead of messing with it, let's just like do something that sparks some joy. Like, let's just color today. Like, either way, I'm doing this buddy color with View. And then I'm so glad Jane jumped in. If you want to jump in, like I said, go check that out on my community tab and post your finished page and tag me so we can see each other. It's just exciting. Just something fun to do. So I just decided, like, I can take the pressure off of myself by just doing something fun and happy. You know what I mean? Like, my week ended so graciously and unexpectedly, and like, wow. And I didn't have, you guys, my cart was halfway full. I have to tell you, like, I only brought one bag in, but like, I kind of splurged. Like I bought my 2 books. Their shoes, Target shoes, all the women's clothing and shoes were 20% off because of Mother's Day. And so I tried on shoes in front of my grandson and stuff, and he really did like point. He's like, it pointed at the ones that I ended up buying because I liked those a little bit better. Like he's my BFF today. I just love that little guy. Not today, all the time, but he was such a fun shopping partner. And he didn't fuss. We went and looked at toys. He doesn't need any toys. Grandma buys some toys all the time when we're out. So I was like, you don't need any at my house, but like, let's go look at them. Put him back just like a good little boy. Like he was just like, okay, and said goodbye to them. And it was so cute. It was so cute. And so I was just like, God, you're like the best shopping partner I have ever, that just doesn't expect you to buy everything, or won't, how your kids will get sometimes when they think they're getting something and they're not. And no, he was just perfectly happy just to be there. It was so cute. So yeah, so I ended up throwing a few like little extra things into my cart, and I was like, this is kind of a splurge for me. It's all right. I'll just take it out of like my grocery bill or whatever. Like, I don't know. It'll come from somewhere. Like, I'll figure it out. But now I don't have to. I'm super, super grateful for that. Okay, so I always do. You can see I do color out of the lines. I'm not a perfect colorist. I admit it now. I am not, and that's what it is. But I like doing these cozy type pages because I will, oops, I got some water right there, but that's okay. I will add some like mixed media. Excuse me, my throat's really dry. I have my fan on too because it was kind of hot in here, so it's probably dry because of that. But I will like add some sprays, or I'll do watercoloring or something. So I was watching Ivy Flowers live last Sunday, I believe, and she was doing a mermaid page as well. And she's like, does anybody see the irony of me painting a mermaid with watercolors? And I was like, no, not until now, not until you said something. And she's like, oh, that's funny. I said, but I can't unthink it now. So like, I'm thinking, and I think that's what I want to do too. Like that's, kind of one of those Alanis Morissette, isn't it ironic moments? You know what I mean? So I think I'm just going to keep going with the leaves and the green. So yeah, and I think I'm going to do all of these dark. And I know these are supposed to be like holes, like it's like kelp or something, but I might do the light. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So that's what I just like to sometimes just sit here and color. I do wake up extra early when I work a regular 8 to 4:30, and I'll wake up at like 5 o'clock, and I'll be sitting down coloring by like 5:20. So then I have like a little over an hour to just kind of like meditate. This is my meditation. So, and I will watch an episode of Charmed, or I don't know, whatever. It's been Charmed. I'm doing a full rewatch of Charmed. I think I've said this before. Actually, it's not a rewatch for me. Yeah, you heard it. I've never watched that show before because it came out like in the 90s when I was like becoming an adult, becoming a mom. I met my ex-husband in the late 90s, and then I became a wife shortly after that. And yeah, so I just didn't have time. That wasn't on my radar, and I was definitely a Beverly Hills 90210 girl all of the way, which I think that's water. I don't think that is a plant in there, so I think there's that blank space. But so I'll watch that, and I'll sit here and color. And now that I have this big, comfy, cozy chair in my at my craft desk, like I could sit here for hours. And I do. And I used to, when I was doing my coloring, I've been doing the whole meditation coloring early in the morning thing for a while, probably all of this year. And I would just do it in bed with like I have a little TV tray. But that's what I was doing because it was just gave me extra time to relax, and extra time. I just got time in my day back, which I don't want to just wake up to go to work, to come home and you know, oh, like go on a walk because that's going to be like my outside time. Like I want to really like embrace and enjoy my time a little bit more. And so that's kind of like the whole TikTok reel of like romanticizing your life and those little cheesy videos and stuff and adding more whimsy and things like that. So I didn't decide to do this because of that, but it's just like along those lines. This is me adding the whimsy and romanticizing my life by giving myself those little gifts like that. So I don't feel like I'm just living to work. And I'm just going to mix all these colors in. They're just going to mix and they're going to be happy. And that's the way it's going to be. And I'm not solely probably just going to use watercolor on this. I probably will use a little bit of other things. I don't know if I'll use alcohol marker, although I probably could, but I don't know that I will because the watercolor compared to the alcohol marker, like the alcohol marker is really vibrant and the watercolor is just a little bit set back from that. So I kind of want to keep that softer tone going on with it. Okay, so what we could do now, all of you have only seen me doing the green here, is we could kind of add, like we could color other things too. Like I colored over the green here. And to me, the snail is just going to be, he's going to be brown. That's kind of the way he's going to be. So I have two different browns here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make like the little stripes the dark brown and like the bigger side the light brown. So, and I'll just kind of, I love how it just smooths out too. Like these watercolor pencils just completely smooth out. It's kind of like the whole Gamsol coloring pencil thing. It just smooths it out and makes it look nice and soft. Kind of like Distress Oxide inks, basically. It kind of makes it look like that. So I really do like this. And I like the control I have of the watercolor pencil. I can, and I probably will, since now that I brought them out, my Arteza, the watercolor marker brush pen things, I can add those in here. I lose a little bit of control with those, like I'm not gonna lie. So I do like to put them like on a palette next to me and pick up the color from there, because then I have like the control of that small brush. So that's what I do. I do like that. Okay. So now our snail is just brown, a boring brown snail. I could have made him like some bright yellow or something. So what I'm going to do, because he's under the sea, you know, if you've ever gone snorkeling or if you've ever seen Finding Nemo, not everything is like boring brown and green, right? It's all pretty bright and vibrant. So I think I'm going to make like in the middle, like a little bit of a fun yellow or orange, just like some earthy tones, because he's a snail. Snails to me scream like earthy. But anyway, so thank you for joining me today. Thank you for sticking out with me in this video and my blubbering in the beginning. But gosh dang, have you guys ever had that happen to you? I mean, outside of a Starbucks line. Because yeah, I've paid it forward at Starbucks too. Those are pretty simple things to do. And I just am like, oh my gosh, I pray their order isn't more than $20. I pray they're not feeding like that whole car. You know what I mean? Like I've had those moments. And when we're paying it forward at Starbucks, I'm like, oh my gosh. And this guy just offered, like he really just like stepped up and just offered. She'd bagged everything. I was to the point where I was paying for it. Like it was like ready for, like she had already figured out like the price matching thing. And that's when he just really like stepped in front of me. And I was like, gosh, this guy, what's wrong with, like, he can't wait a minute. And I got kind of like thrown off. Like, why can't he wait? You know, it just was so weird. And then he really just was like, do you mind? And I was like, oh, okay, go ahead. Yeah, sure, I don't mind, I guess. I have all the time all day, but once this kid starts crying, you're gonna regret asking me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and then that's when he was just pretty much like, this is what I want to do. You are just the highlight of his life. I can tell you're just his whole world. I love that. And you're so important. Yeah. I'll just cry every time I talk about it because it's just cheesy and it's just good. Like nothing is just simply good anymore sometimes. Okay. So See how I did that? I made my own mud. I will, once it's all dried, I will go back and I can kind of color over it. So that is what I ended up doing over here with a lot of this as well. I did go back in and add more color to it. And I did the whole wet on wet method with that because the color was already laid down. So what I was doing was like spreading it out more. And then like adding on top of that. But you have to be careful with the overworking of the paper because then it starts to pill up. So that's just kind of like a little bit of a disclaimer. Or you could just go in like with the dry to the wet medium as well. But this is typical watercolor, right? So it always lightens up when it dries. And if I find that it's too wet, I'm just going to go in and dab it down like that. And excuse me, I didn't even pay attention that I wasn't even in camera. So I probably colored that whole snail and you were just watching the page move like that and you didn't see it. So that's rude of me. It happens. Okay. So what do we want to color next? Like something like this would be nice, big and bright. I'm not going to keep you probably for very much longer. But I do like, I don't know what kind of brightness. I'm thinking like more along the red. The red and the orange look really good. I really do like that because I did that over here with the red and the orange. This was just the red and this was the red and the orange. And I like the way the red and the orange kind of married together. So I think I'm going to save that for over there. And I think, just set this aside. This needs to be sharpened. As you can see, it's really kind of dull. I think I'm just going to go in and do this coral, like this pink. So if you have not seen Finding Nemo, why not? But if you haven't, oops, see it does break a little bit and then it kind of skips, but, and I'm used to coloring in circles because of the alcohol markers. I don't necessarily have to color in circle with this to get like an even go at it. But if you haven't seen Nemo, if you haven't ever gone snorkeling before, then you could Google it, like what color is coral? And you're going to get a bunch of different fun colors and variations. And then you kind of decide from there what you have in your stash, what you want to do. And the way I've been kind of doing highlighting with these watercolor pencils is I will make like around the edge a little bit darker and then kind of lighten up as I go in the middle because I'm laying down more of the pigment on the edge. It will move around into the middle, but the edge will still stay dark. And don't feel like you have to color perfect either. So, but then you'll get like a highlighted effect like that. So don't at all feel like you have to color perfect because I look and I'm like, oh, that's awfully streaky. Like, oh, that's awful. It evens out. It smooths out. Like, oops, I'm sorry. Yeah, but it kind of all smooths out. And you end up getting like a really nice even tone because of the water. All right. So I hope you guys enjoying this video. I will definitely, I am the later person. Gosh, I'm the late supervisor next week, and then I only have 1 week off, and then I'm back to being the late supervisor. Like, my goodness. I hate getting off at 7 o'clock at night, but it leaves me more time in the morning for slow mornings. I'm grateful for that. I'm going to try to get on live next Friday morning before work. We will see if that works out or not, but I'll let you know ahead of time. It's not on my channel. It's on somebody else's channel. And I am going to do a pre-recorded video throughout the week. I'm going to do another kickoff to June-tober little fun creation before next Sunday. So I have a lot going on. I am turning in, you guys, my last assignment in my pharmacology class. And then I'm only going, And then I'm already halfway through my marriage and family therapy class, and that's my last class. I'm so excited. And then I go straight into the internships. And then by the end of the year, I'll be done. And then by the beginning of 2027, I'll be able to confer my degree. And then I can get my associate's number and I can do what I want then, basically. Basically, I can do what I want then. I mean, we're never going to be able to do exactly what we want, right? Because I want to retire and craft full time, but I do have to pay for things. I have to pay for those crafting supplies. I have to, pay to live, and I have people depending on me and things like that. And my grandson needs more toys. I don't know if you know, and he needs more trips to SeaWorld and things like that. So yeah, what I'm going to do, I think right now, is I'm just going to watercolor over what we have down. And then I'm probably going to let you go. And I hope you guys have a fabulous Mother's Day and thank a mother. And if you're a mother, give yourself a pat on the back. I'm grateful for you. I know those close to you are grateful for you. And if they're not, and if they don't show it to yourself, because I've felt that and I've experienced that before as well. And that's, not the greatest place to always be, but it just is what it is sometimes. It's just part of mothering. Or ain't no hood like the motherhood. You know what I mean? So give yourself the praises because you deserve them. And if you're not a mom, but you've mothered plenty of things and people, and maybe you have a profession that's mothering and you decided, I do not want to be a mother in my own time. My cat is like very upset that I kind of locked her out. So you see how I do color out of the lines like that? I'm really not going to worry about that. I'm going to have to let her in a second before she like really starts to claw at the door. I will outline with these, and I'm just kind of zhuzhing it up then at that point, and I'm kind of covering up my mistakes and then my background. So you see how that goes from such like pigment to light right here. And then my background will kind of help cover that up too. So I don't really like get into the whole like freaking my freak like that. But anyway, so I hope you guys have a fabulous week ahead. I hope we all have a grateful jar or something grateful that we can reflect on, because when all seems to be lost and all seems to be not going the greatest, just bam, something out of the blue that you very least expect will come and be like, wait, not everything is bad, So that was just a divine intervention for me today, because I was kind of having that, gosh, how am I going to get through this? How am I going to get these guys through this? And I don't know, here I go. Like I just jump in with both feet and this is what I do. And who knows if I'm doing it right, wrong, or whatever, but somebody saw something else, and then it just kind of is like, it's going to be fine. Even my daughter, I told her when she called after work today, because she's going to go watch some sporting event with her boyfriend and his family. And she's like, you know what, Mom, I'm so glad you told me that. And I was like, why? She's like, because I was really like on an anti-humankind thing. She's like, this really like that one little thing kind of restored my outlook on humanity and humankind. Like just when you think like we're getting to be the worst of the worst and people, aren't caring about each other. And it's just like, gosh, every man for himself out there. She's like, we're really not. We're all in this together. And some people understand that we're all going through something. So that was just really nice. So see how his random act of kindness spread through, my family just like that. I called my mom and I cried afterwards. I was like, I'm such in shock. Like, I don't know what to do. So anyway, there we go. This is what I did today. And this is what I did it with. And this is what I did it out of. So if you want to join in on these buddy colors, let me know. I'm going to leave this open. I'm going to let it dry. And I also do have my Inktense blocks that I'm kind of learning. I'm not very good at them. But I did play with them a little bit the other day, so that's exciting. And wow, they are very pigmented. And I know that people in the coloring community have been telling me that for a little bit. You don't know until you know what I mean? You don't know what you don't know, and that's just a real thing. But I was thinking they, like, when it dried, it would fade out a little bit, but I did a few swatches last night when I was kind of sitting here finishing up my other buddy coloring, and they didn't lighten up a whole lot. Like, this will lighten up. And then my little dragon guy, he did lighten up as well, not too much, but it will lighten up. But those Inktense blocks really didn't lighten up. So hey, let me know if you want to join along. Let me know if you like a more informal format like this on a pre-recorded video. If you don't be scared to let me know that either. Be like, no, this didn't work for me. I didn't like it. Or be like, hey, I really like this. I got to reflect on something. I got to color along with you. I want more of that. Just let me know. We're just kind of figuring things out over here and inspiring each other all at the same time. I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you have a fabulous Mother's Day, and I hope you treat yourself, mother or not. Just from human to human, we all need to take a moment and treat ourselves. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.